become a person who is most dangerous, and a person is most dangerous when she or he has nothing more to lose. And regarding the approach regarding last 60 days, I think it's very important to write as many tests as possible, focus on revision as much as possible, do not add on any new content. Well, if we observe the recent years pattern, then UPSC is acting in an intelligent manner, and they are focusing on interconnection between topics and even between subjects.
Hello dear aspirants, welcome to this conversation video regarding the last 60 days preparation strategy. So today's theme of discussion will be the strategy discussion regarding the modern Indian history, post-independence and world history. I know that there are less than 60 days remaining for the examination and you must be getting a lot of doubts regarding these kind of aspects. So that's why we have brought you this particular video. So to decode the strategy for modern Indian history and the associated aspects, I am joined by Himanshu Khatri Sir, who is the faculty of Vision IAS. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
So, sir, as roughly 60 days are there for the examination, so what should be the approach of a student for the last 60 days?
Well, first of all, I would like to again congratulate those students who are writing the mains exam, right? So, well done. And regarding the approach regarding last 60 days, I think it's very important to write as many tests as possible, focus on revision as much as possible, do not add on any new content. Just master the content which you have already studied, and trust me, you have studied that much which is required to even get already rank 1.
That's very motivating, sir. So, sir, now coming to the subject that you are taking already in the modern Indian history, so what should be the approach of a candidate if it comes to the history related aspect?
Well, if we observe the recent years pattern, then UPSC is acting in an intelligent manner, and they are focusing on interconnection between topics and even between subjects. So therefore, students should learn that. For example, they have asked very unique things, like they have asked about constructive work, right? So that question they never asked ever. Similarly, they have asked comparison between Rabindranath Tagore and Mahatma Gandhi. So therefore, yes, we should focus on the past year's patterns, but at the same time, we should think that on the similar lines, what can UPSC focus upon? So for example, like revolutionaries, a mains level question on revolutionaries has not been asked since a long time. So what was the contribution of revolutionaries? Similarly, like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, right? He has been in news, right, in the past few years, but we have not seen, any question on that. And if UPSC asks such a question, we should not be surprised. So I feel that we should focus on such themes. Obviously, previous year questions का जो theme है उस पे तो focus करना ही है, but थोड़ा सा हमें एक predictive value भी I think we should bring.
So now, sir, as you have discussed some of the themes, so if I may ask you that what are the major or the high potential areas when it comes to the modern Indian history, post-independence as well as the world history?
Well, high potential areas, first aspect is nation is most important, right? So nation is summation of people who feel one, equal and supreme. So, UPSC has focused on different sections of the society, right? So therefore, how the different sections of the society, they became part of the Indian national movement, and how did the Indian national movement helped meet those sectional interests, right? That has been an important theme for the UPSC, right? Regarding the social reforms, UPSC has focused either on the organizations or on the issues or on the personalities. These three things, right? So therefore, not all the personality, but like the key personalities. And till now, they have not focused upon the post-1857 personalities. For example, recently they asked about Young India, Young Bengal and Raja Raman Roy. But like Swami Dayanand Saraswati's, anniversary was celebrated recently by the government. Swami Vivekananda, right? So I think that maybe it's my gut feeling that post-1857 social reformers, that can be a theme. Then, as I told you, revolutionaries, that can be a theme, right? So wherever we are able to notice any pattern, there we should focus upon, and I think these are important elements which are there.
Right. So regarding, sir, post-independence and world history?
Regarding post-independence and world history, I would like to take world history first, right? So in the case of world history, we have seen that gradually, it's like if we analyze the past 10 years, as we were also discussing, it seems like UPSC has come very close to World War II, end of World War II, right? And in the post-World War II era, they have focused on the decolonization aspect. a very big elephant in the room, I feel it is Cold War, right? So yeah, we don't have such evidence that UPSC has asked any question since 2014 or so on the Cold War period. But I feel that if student leaves it, what if UPSC surprises the student, right? So I think please 50% of the time, whatever you allocate to world history, please allocate it to post World War II era. Regarding post-independence India, we were noticing that the issue of reorganization of states through different lens, right? That what was economic impact, social impact, and so reorganization of the states and integration of the states. I feel that UPSC has fairly covered it from different perspectives. So maybe student can allocate less time there. And 1965 war, right? Reasons they have asked, right? So maybe the consequence, right? Similarly, 1971 war reasons they have asked, right? No, 1965 when they asked the consequence, reasons they did not ask. In the 1971 war, reasons they asked, consequences are pending. So in post-independence India, we should focus like any topic, what are the reasons, what was the process, and what was the impact. And wherever UPSC has covered one of those elements, maybe that can be given a backseat. And those rest of the two which have yet not been covered, maybe that can be focused upon. Issue of Khalistan becomes important, right? Khalistan has been in news, so Punjab crisis, insurgency in Punjab, that becomes important. Recently, events have taken place in Punjab. Recently, ULFA, a tripartite agreement has been signed. So what was the civil aspect? ULFA will be part of internal security, but from my subject perspective, the Assam Accords and the movement, right? Assam civil movement which was there, that resulted in Rajiv Gandhi signing Accords. So, and NRCCA, they continue to be in news. So I feel that these 2-3 themes, right, they are important, right? A legal perspective is important. For example, Panchsheel with 1954 with China, and then 2003 border agreement with China, then Lahore agreement 1999 and Shimla agreement 1972. That means from a legal perspective, international treaty perspective, where we stand with respect to our thing. I think that should be the focus.
These are the fairly good areas or the high potential areas.
And tough areas also, not all people are very well versed with the legal aspects.
Right, sir. So, sir, now coming to the kind of aspect which is the current affairs, because generally when we perceive this particular subject, it is seen from the lens of the static aspects, right? But we have seen that whenever there is a prominent event related to the same, there might be questions in the mains examination. So, are there any kind of themes which were there in the news about which there may be questions, or how student can integrate the current affairs when it comes to history?
Well, as we were discussing just now, so I've already highlighted some high potential areas, and the basis of picking those areas was on the basis of current affairs, right? So that is there. Baki, for example, if government has celebrated anniversaries of Swami Dayanand Saraswati, right, then that becomes important. Then Sri Aurobindo's anniversary was also celebrated. So from that particular perspective, the contribution of the extremists, UPSC has not properly asked in recent times that what was the contribution of extremists to the Indian national movement, right? What was the contribution of revolutionaries, right? So actually they are based, what we discussed, that was primarily on the basis of current affairs. What I would like to add on the current affairs is that as soon as you complete the revision of the current affairs, then try to think about some thematic questions, right? Be it subject wise, as we discussed, or in general about current affairs, right? That will really help you in essay also.
Right. Okay, so I think that was a very good summarization of the history related aspects. So now coming to some general questions, like, because this is the time that student will be picking up the practice related aspect more. So what is the role of like the answer writing in general and test series in particular regarding the last 60 days preparation?
Well, I would give a direct and short answer, right, to the point. That is, with respect to proper answer writing, I would say test series, right, because that's in the environment of exam, right, as much as possible. Second aspect, I would say, if don't try to practice answers on your own. But I'm not saying you don't, but I think more valid is if you are not giving a test series and you are attempting the previous year questions, then rather than writing in paragraph format, try to come out with 10 to 15 points. Try to come out with an organized strategy that is, topics, subtopics. Nowadays people say, but we used to prepare like this only. My answers were always in the subcategory point, very organized format only. So basically that leads to a clear understanding that okay, these are the 5 issues and that's what we are discussing. So if you attempt the previous year questions, right, then make 10 points, organize, right, that will act as good notes also, flowchart form mein. And with respect to answer writing, join a test series. If you have not, write as much as possible. The more you will write, right, that each test is going to add to your marks, each test that you will write. So that I think is of utmost importance, right? That will lead to, and revision भी आप targeted कर सकते हैं. That is आप test लिखें, ठीक है? एक revision तो हो ही चुकी है आपकी. The questions which you are able to answer perfectly, right? Where you get good marks, right? Or even before marks, you know कि अच्छा मैंने ठीक लिखा है, तो वो तो revise होगी. And the question in which you were not able to write properly, you got bad marks. Only revise that topic, but fully, right? From your own notes, right? तो आई थिंक दैट इज़ द वेरी गुड वे ऑफ टारगेटेड रिविजन, बिकॉज टाइम इज लेस ना. अगर मैं ऐसा सोचूंगा कि मैं पूरा कहते हैं कि मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री रिवाइज कर लूँ या फिर पूरा इकोनॉमी रिवाइज कर लूँ, सो देयरफॉर दैट इज गोइंग टू लीड टू प्रॉब्लम. सो टारगेटेड अप्रोच, राइट? सो देयरफॉर दिस इज हाउ आवर वीक एरियाज, you know, they'll gradually become improved.
Right. And I think in this case, the kind of answer the student will be writing, they will also be acting as a kind of revision related
Definitely,
notes. Yes.
definitely.
In the last moment, the student can refer.
When you write in something on the blank piece of paper, that's the best form of revising.
Exactly. So, sir, now as in the introductory remarks also, I have said that many students are getting anxiety. A lot of stress is there that they need to manage optional, they need to manage the general studies, practice, revision, everything is there. So, any kind of tips or the last minute tips for the stress management in the last 60
Well,
days?
the tip is there that anxiety is always there, right? In my first attempt, I gave my mains, right, but could not clear. In my second attempt, I gave interview, but could not clear. In my third attempt, you know, I cleared all the 3 formats, right? But trust me, anxiety was always there. It's a fact of life. If anyone says कि anxiety नहीं होगी, होगी, anxiety होगी. But the point is, how do you deal with it, right? So therefore, coping mechanisms are very, very important. And the coping mechanism which I believe in, which may not be very, very famous, is basically, you know, that one should become expectation less from the UPSC. Do not give UPSC, you know, to get a rank. But at least once you start writing, your behavior, your emotions, they should not get impacted. That अगर मेरा ये वाला आंसर गलत हो गया तो फिर मेरा ये वाला अटेम्प्ट का क्या होगा, या फिर ये, because that actually, you know, makes your next answer also bad, right? Because you become anxious. तो एक बार पेपर स्टार्ट हो जाए, उसके बाद आपको यूपीएससी से कुछ आपको एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं रखनी है. बस क्वेश्चन है आप हो, राइट? डोंट एक्सपेक्ट एनीथिंग कि आपको रैंक लेके आना है, कुछ लेके आना है. जैसे भगवत गीता में जो कहते हैं कि कर्म कर फल की इच्छा मत कर, तो वो मैं तो अपने आप को ये कन्विंस करता था कि मेरा सिलेक्शन नहीं हो रहा, आई एम नॉट गेटिंग सिलेक्टेड, राइट? सो देयर इज नथिंग टू लूज, सो आई एम गोइंग देयर, क्योंकि मैंने जो भी मेहनत करी उसका मेहनताना मेरे को चाहिए, ठीक है ना? तो वो मतलब मैं समहाउ मेरे लिए तो वही काम करता था, क्योंकि अपने आप को ये बोलना कि मैं डेफिनेटली कर लूँगा और ये हो जाएगा, वो पता नहीं, एंग्जाइटी इतनी सारी होती है कि लगता है अपने आप से झूठ बोल रहा हूँ.
Exactly.
मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता था कि मैं अपने आप से झूठ बोल रहा हूँ कि ऐसे कैसे हो जाएगा. तो फिर ये, हाँ, अगर मैं अपने आप को ये बोलता था कि नहीं होगा, वो काफ़ी रियल लगता था. तो मतलब मैं तो यही कहूँगा, बिकम अ पर्सन हु इज़ मोस्ट डेंजरस, एंड अ पर्सन इज मोस्ट डेंजरस व्हेन शी और ही हैज़ नथिंग मोर टू लूज, राइट? तो मिर्ज़ापुर भी मैं देख रहा था अभी, तो उसमें भी यही था, हाँ, कि गुड्डू भैया यही कहते हैं कि हमारे पास कुछ होने के लिए है ही नहीं, ना, तो इसलिए सबसे डेंजर वही होते हैं.
Right. And I think some amount of anxiety is always good.
वो तो रहेगी. And some anxiety is also good for improving your performance.
Exactly, sir. So, sir, that's, I think, a very well summarized discussion regarding the approach of subject as well as some general tips. So, thank you, sir. Thank you for joining for this particular discussion.
Thank you. God bless you all. God bless you.
So, with this, we came to an end to this particular conversation video. So, last 60 days, manage your preparation and do not get stressed with the kind of doubts that you might be having. As sir has suggested that some amount of stress is also necessary to improve your performance. So make sure that do not get overburdened by the amount of stress that you might be having. So for more such videos, stay tuned with Vision IAS. Thank you.